We've been asked to make a video on our childhood dreams and how we're accomplishing them, what steps we're taking to accomplish them. So, when I think back on my childhood dreams, I mean, of course, like everyone, I wanted to be some sort of superhero, some sort of something like that. But the more realistic ones, the only thing I can really remember is wanting to help people. And one story really pops out in my head that my mom told me a few years ago. I was around 5 or 6. I don't remember the story. These are my mom's words. I guess we were watching a video about some sort of suffering that was taking place in Africa. People weren't getting the treatment they needed, or they weren't able to get the surgeries they needed. Some sort of suffering that was taking place that I didn't really understand. And so I would ask my mom questions. I guess she said I didn't really know what was going on, so I would ask and just keep asking things. And once the light bulb popped into my head, she said that I just got right up and I said, "Mom, we have to go help these people. We have to go help them right now." And without another word, I guess I went straight to my room and I started packing everything that I thought these African people would need and that I would need, for this trip. Unfortunately, we weren't able to take any trip like this out there. We weren't the most financially well-off family at that point, and but when I do think back on this, there's one thing that really, well, a couple things that really stick out to me. My mentality really has not changed at all. I'm still a very compassionate person. I still care about people's well-being, and I want them to become the best that they can become. I'm also much more of a doer than a talker. Once I understand the subject, or once I understand what's going on, I like to do something about it rather than just sit and talk about doing it. Um, so when I take these things and look at where I'd want to be in a future occupation, what I've decided and what really started to seem good around junior high, high school was was a physician of some sort. At that point, it was me just really kind of testing the waters, seeing what was good. I started taking some sports medicine classes, human anatomy classes, human biology classes, just things like that to see if I was still really interested. And I was. I ended up getting my basic EMT license my senior year, and then I got my first semester in college. So got certified in as advanced EMT. Decided that that's kind of, I guess, at that point when I decided I wanted to make this dream a reality, and that it was something that was very realistic for me to pursue. So I looked at, well, how do I have to pursue this? What do I have to do? Well, you have to get noticed by med school. That's kind of a need if you want to be at the status or the surgeon that I would like to become. Well, med school requires a couple things. First, you have to have a want to help you, and they need to see that. They need to see that you're willing to volunteer, that you're willing to do these kind of research things, and you have to be able to put your own wants aside, your immediate wants aside, in order to pursue something larger at a lot of points, because there's a lot of work there's a lot of time that you're gonna have to give up for this. So I was okay with that. I was like, all right, I can do that. That's real easy. And then second, you have to get noticed. Really, you really have to get noticed by med school, and that's what I've heard is probably the hardest part of med school. Conceptually, it's no harder than most of the majors that we'd have here at the University of Utah. To get noticed, I decided I would go for two majors. I'd do health promotion and education, emphasis on emergency medicine because I'm a certified advanced EMT at this point, and then business administration, which I heard would be extremely good because it's very large. It's a lot to take in conceptually. And then another thing that med school requires is quite a bit of money, and I don't really ever want to be in debt. $250,000 is around what it would cost for med school, and that's quite a large debt that I wouldn't really want to take on. So rather than just giving it up and being like too much money, not going into debt, not doing that, I got together with a couple friends and we started a company. It's called the ATD Movement. It's a company that actually throws really large parties. We rent out a giant venue and we just throw a party. Have certain DJs come on, Miss Utah come on. We'll run a DJ set, or just people, more famous people to attract a larger crowd of people and get larger admissions. More money from that. Um, and we registered it with the city and everything like that. And then I decided, well, we can do more with this. And so we all decided to get together and join with this group. This organization is called the Center for Global Surgery. They bring out physicians and surgeons to people in faraway places who are in need of these surgeries or who are in need of certain treatments that aren't available to them because they have no medical care within thousands of miles. So a portion of our ticket sales and everything like that, we decided to team up with this organization and use them because obviously it's great publicity. Um, and use that. We also decided to team up with another organization. It's a local one. It's called Camp Hobie. It's a camp for cancer children and their siblings who are oftentimes neglected or ignored during the treatment of the other sibling because it is so intensive and it is so much for a family to deal with. This camp is also extremely discounted. It's about $25 for the entire week, um, and they're able to have a week off essentially. It's there's plenty of medical attention if that's needed, which it usually isn't, but it's just basically a week off and a time for the siblings to relax and get to know each other even better and not have to think about the stresses of their life, which is unfortunate. And so doing these sort of things, starting up the company where I'm at with in schooling, it makes me feel like I'm on my way to making my dreams a reality. And it's really nice to be able to raise money for something that I believe in and that I think can help, that I think is helping people and I feel is helping people, while also being able to raise money for myself and advance and further my goals. So that's that.